My name's Tristan Deeves and I'm here with a Triple D deck profile. Now, first up we have our Savin Keplers. This guy's one of my favorites just because he allows you to search for Contract with the Gate. It's one of the best cards in the deck profile itself. It kind of sets you up for all of your combos. And it gives you that head start in the game, so that's why I'm a fan of this guy. After that we have our playset of Copernicus. Now Copernicus, again, he's not a necessity, but the idea with him is he allows you to send cards to your graveyard just to extend your combos. So not only is he a little tech piece that you can remove from the deck, he's one of those that you kind of want to keep in just for his ability to kind of set your board. After that, oh, my babe, the myth, the legend herself, DD Lamia. She is just an absolute beast. Not only is she a tuner, but she can actually return herself to the field from discarding a DD card from your hands to the graveyard. Or she can tribute a monster from the field. I think they technically destroy a monster as long as it's a DD monster from the field and send that to the graveyard. The only downside is once you do that, it does get banished. But you'll find that DD Lamia, she does her job well, and as long as you go through the right route, you won't need to worry about that too much. My next lineup is a triple play set of DD Swell Slime. Now the reason we play a triple play set of Swell Slime is because Swell Slime activates our fusions from the hand. So we've got the fusions from the hand, we've got the no need for polymerization, and we are locked into the DD kind of tech line. But at the end of the day, once you've got DDs on your field, you can basically negate, you can jump over your opponents, even in some cases, you can attack over your opponent's monsters and attack them directly. So that's why I'm a fan of DD Swell Slime, because he can just do so much. One thing he can also do as well is once he's in the graveyard, he can special summon a piece from your hand that can extend your combo further. The next one, I've actually only put this at 2, but it's DD Necro Slime. Now, most people use DD Necro Slime and they also use DD Vice Typhoon. Vice Typhoon is good, but nah, just get rid. Like, there is no need. Like, once you've already got your 3 Swell Slimes, you've already got access to all of the fusions that you could do with. If you're adding more than 2, you're just gonna be a waste anyway. Like, you're gonna be using Necro Slime to send, Copernicus to send Necro Slime to the grave. So that really doesn't matter how many Necro Slimes you've got in. The only reason I put in 2 is although it does increase the draw chance of you drawing one of these, the idea is if you do draw one in your first opening hand, you have the ability to go, okay, at least I've got another one in my deck to use Copernicus' effect on to send him to the grave. Straight after that, we're going to go with Triple D Ragnarok. Now, Oblivion King Ragnarok is one of my favorite cards, but I never summon him. There is no need, just use him for your scales, and you can actually just get everything onto the field. Most recently, we've had a promo card come out called Go DDD Divine Zero King Rage. Now, this guy was known as Zero King Reggie originally, so that's what I'm going to stick to. But Reggie, he's your guy. He can basically set the pendulum zones from 0 to 5 using Oblivion King. You can then continue your combo and keep it going with this guy, and he's very underused at the moment. Obviously, understandably why. I don't actually think he is released in the UK at the moment, so you do have to get him in the US. But once you get this card, your deck changes completely. The last card I do have, and you don't actually need to use this one, it's a Laplace. Now, Laplace is actually very situational and it can be removed from your deck entirely. But if you do have those occasional monsters that you just can't beat down because you haven't, maybe you've been hand trapped the entire game, you can just use a Go DDD Divine Zero King Rage just to set in your Pendulum Zone, use the effect to normal summon your Laplace. So that way, any cards that have, oh, if this card is special summons, do this or do that, it won't affect your Laplace. So you don't need to worry about any extra kind of situational things. So it's basically treated as a normal summon, and it does use some real good. Now that's it for the DDDs monsters that I have in my deck. Going on to the tech pieces, believe it or not, Motivating Captain actually increases your draw chance. I think it's by around 6 to 8% of activating the combo that I'm going to be doing. So Motivating Captain, there she is. Oh, there he is, my bad. It's a really nice piece, and you're mainly going to be using it to bring back your Lamia. And then because it's a level 1, you can even use it to send to Linkuriboh. So although underused card in my opinion, Linkuriboh is perfect for this deck because it's full of level 1s. But it sends Motivating Captain away, and you do have that when a monster declares an attack, you can just turn that attack to 0. So it is quite nice to just deal with getting this guy off the field. My next tech card is actually from the recent ban list, and this is the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. I am such a fan of just the artwork of this card alone. Like I think it's gorgeous. But the main reason I've got it in is because not only does it act as a if you are negated from Bardiche, my little French guy, you can also use this guy's ability to make sure you pull across your next tech card, which is the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. Now you want to be pulling this to pull off one of your new combos. It's not the most desirable, but it does do some crazy stuff to your opponent. Just for a little bit of fun, we do have some Ghost Ogres. It's always fun to mess with your opponent, so I do like having my Ghost Ogres in there. Saying that, as well as the Ash Blossoms. Now, those 4 cards you don't actually need. They are just kind of replaceable. Infinite Impermanence is fantastic. You could switch it out for that. I just prefer these 4, not even for the artwork. It's mainly just I love messing with my opponents occasionally. This deck as a whole is a lockdown deck. So if you can lock down your opponent for searching for their combo pieces, boy, you've got it in the bag. The last piece we do have is Reinforcement of the Army. Now the reason we have this is because it acts as an extra Motivating Captain. So not only do you not have to draw Motivating Captain, you could just draw this. It allows you to get into your combo easier. So coming through with the spells, you have to, and I mean have to, play 1, 2, 3 Contracts of the Gate. This is the most important card in this deck. It ups all of your searchability by a crazy amount. I'll have to drop in the comments, drop in the description, the actual percentages of the combo chances for this deck. I believe going first, it's around 25% chance to pull off your combo. Going second, you're looking at around 56 to 60%. You also play 3 copies of Wear Off Thou. Now this is a deck that they don't mind taking life point damage. Like, it's a high risk, high rewards kind of situation. So Wear Off Thou is a fantastic choice. It gets out your level 1, continues that combo going, activates special summons and all sorts. You also have a 1 Day of Peace. This card is, again, it's not like amazing. Imagine if we had Pot of Greed back. I don't know what Pot of Greed does, but it'd be fantastic if we had something, like that. But 1 Day of Peace is kind of the next best thing we've got, in my opinion. Let them draw cards. I do not care, because with this combo that we're going to be doing, we're just going to be shutting them down. They won't even be able to use their cards. Upstart Goblin, another one. Give them life points. Who cares? If you have that extra +1 you're in your hand and it's the combo piece, you're sorted. And that is why I also play 3 Allure of Darkness. Now there is a lot of risk with Allure of Darkness, especially because we're not going to be bringing anything back from our banished zone. But again, it's that high risk, high reward. Rarely have I seen these actually come up in my deck because I'm searching for the cards I need anyway. But when they do come up, they haven't let me down to date. I think maybe once or twice I've been in locals and they have just gone, hey, you know what? Send your entire hand to the grave. To the grave. Discard your entire hand. That kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So that's not too big a deal. Now these are coming up to the extra deck. They are one of my favorite sets of cards. I play a shed ton of Synchros. The reason being is because Synchros are just so accessible using Lamia. Like, you have the Wear Off Thou, you have the Contract the Gate, even the Kepler adds you Lamia to hand. So why not play it? Now we do have a Formula Synchron, And Formula Synchro itself is a fantastic card. It allows you to draw one card and you can Synchro summon on your opponent's turn, which we will be using multiple times. This one specifically is used for a Satellite Warrior combo, but we'll come to it. Now the next tech piece I have is actually Samsara, Dragon of Rebirth. It has a pretty decent effect where it allows you to bring a card back from the graveyard if it's destroyed by card effects or battle. But at the end of the day, that's not what we're using it for. We're specifically just going for that level 5 Dark Dragon monster. Now if some of you are intelligent, you've probably already noticed where I'm going with that concept. We're also going to add a Shooting Riser Dragon to the deck. This is another tech piece that's used in combination with Samsara. Riser Dragon's just a fantastic card. It has the ability for 2 of your combos that are complete lockouts of the entire game, and that's why I love it. Now, going on for another level 7 Synchro, we have Gus King Alexander. It's a generic DD card. It's only going to be used on the field for resummoning your DDs back to the field and ranking up or leveling up your Synchros to a higher level. In a few combinations, for especially Satellite Warrior, you're going to want to be making your Siegfried. Siegfried used to be my go-to just because it was a straight up negate, and I absolutely love that negate. Then we got the Satellite Warrior. This guy's just ingenious. He is amazing just at the end of the day. I used to love the Hyper Librarian combo, and then you could pull this out not long after. But at the end of the day, it does kind of depend on how you're playing and what you're playing against. If you want to lock out your opponent, go for it. But if you're already in the middle of a game and there's nothing stopping you from destroying all your opponent's monsters, Satellite Warrior is the way to go. You can almost OTK with a Satellite Warrior in of itself if you are lucky enough. Now this is where we were going with those tech pieces. Shooting Riser Dragon Samsara alongside a Lamia are used to make Calamity. Now it is a very difficult combo to get under control. Once you understand how it works though, you cannot go wrong. Not only that, you can pull out Calamity on your opponent's turn due to Shooting Riser Dragon's effects, negate everything and stop all effects coming into play during said turn. So your opponent is basically locked out of their entire turn. And again, I like to be a bit annoying, I like to be a bit cancerous, but that's what we're going to be doing with this deck. Now I then have 2 lower level Flame King Gengises. These guys are quite important. I did originally have 2 level 8s, but 2 level 6s, they just work a little bit better. You can go into the Wave High King Caesar, but I've chosen to stray away from that path because it's just not worth it. Like, if you're going to go for just a simple negate, you've probably lost the match anyway. You want to go for multiple negates, or you want to go for a complete deck lockdown. So continue on from that, we have our Xyz monsters. Now at the moment I'm playing a Dark Anthalion Dragon. It's okay if for a level 7, but the reason we have it is to continue that Silent Boots and the Rusty Bardiche combo, which allows us to Xyz summon on your opponent's turn into Yugioh, which means you can straight up go to lock down your opponent's entire turn. Now the only downside for this is that you're no longer being able to use Yugioh's special effects, which is basically a heavy storm, destroy all their opponent's spell cards and your spell cards, which can be quite beneficial if you've got a gate just still taking life points from you. Gonna go on to the last few now. These are the link cards. As I said, Linkuriboh, my days, this guy just does business. Every time you have a level 1 on the field that you just do not want on the field, get rid of him and get Linkuriboh in. He's a dark monster as well, so he's usable for Rusty Bardiche. So before you go into Rusty, you can just go, okay, Linkuriboh, send to the grave, and then once he's in the graveyard, you can pull him back out whenever you have a level 1 back on the field. So it's obviously you've only got that effect once per turn, but that's pretty dope as long as you can keep the recurrence going. So as I said, that's your Rusty Bardiche for your combo. Fantastic card. Honestly, I'm so glad to be getting him back. First time I've ever played with this guy, but he was needed from the start. And this is my prize and joy, my cheeky little no-names Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh just had to be in there. Because that's the way it is. I have actually opted out of using Crystron Halquifibrax. I have the card and it's okay, but as soon as I saw Adamancipator on the rise and Eldritch, back in kind of the early start of this year, I was a bit disappointed with the play style, and I kind of just strayed away from that. But I hope that's all good, and I look forward to giving more content soon. So everybody enjoy, and see you next time.